Welcome to another episode of The Chozen Gem. I'm your host, O.D. Williams, and the topic of discussion is navigating success, relationship, and wellness. Let me start by saying that anything discussed on here is to educate, motivate, and most importantly, elevate your mindset. So, last time we talked on the last episode, I told you guys that I would have a special guest on. I kind of gave you an introduction of who I was, what to expect on the Chozen Gem. And hey, like I said, the special guest is here today. I'll go no further by introducing you guys to CC Matthews. Glad to have you on, man. Thanks for coming on. It's definitely a blessing, and I'm sure the audience will love to hear the insight that you have, the knowledge that you have, and the gems that you'll drop off to us. So how I usually like to start it off is, man, just going into the warm up, man. So if you could just tell the people who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Hey, first off, man, hey, thanks for having me, man. And I'm super excited about this podcast you started, man. I think it's very beneficial for everybody, man, to just take the knowledge and the experiences of people who've already done some things and just, extract those and then apply it to their own lives. So hey,
Gotcha.
kudos for you, man, for having the vision of this, and then not only that, but the application of putting it together, man. So
Okay, yeah.
much
Thank
love
you.
for that, man.
Thank you.
Well, no, yeah. First off, I mean, me, man, CC Matthews, and I would like to say that first off, I'm a Christ follower. I'm a father, entrepreneur, and I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force.
Yeah, thank you for your
And
service.
oh man, yeah, thank you, man, and it was an honor. So out of all those different hats that I wear, man, it's yeah, it's just life, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
got you. So, what exactly do you do, and why do you do that?
Yeah, so my day job is a fitness coach. So I own a personal training gym. So I
Okay.
train clients from pretty much all walks of life, and I've been doing that ever since I got out of the Air Force. Man, since 2000, it's been over 15 plus years. So I'll just say
Yeah,
that.
cool.
So that's what I do day to day, and that's pretty much like that takes up, I would say, a good 80% of my time in terms of my actual business and what I work on.
Hmm.
And then there's just other, business ventures that branch out from that. But for the
Got
most
you.
part, that's pretty much what I do.
Okay, so what made you choose that path, have a passion for doing that, going into that industry?
Yeah, growing up, man, I'd always kind of enjoyed seeing muscles and having the idea of like being strong. And I
Yeah.
remember, man, like watching Incredible Hulk when I was younger. This big green dude on the screen like had
Yeah.
all these muscles, and I remember like going to bed at night or right before going to bed, just busting out some push-ups, just visualizing
Yeah.
myself like being strong, like this guy I just saw on television. Then you
Mhm.
fast forward, going into sports in high school, was crazy, man. I actually didn't enjoy working out, but the coach
Yeah.
made us work out after practice. So you'd be dog tired, man, and then they like, oh, get in there, hit the weight. So we'll get in there,
Yeah.
hit the weight. But then I just naturally started to gravitate towards it more because even at that time in my life, that was sort of one of those things that I could measure. Like, okay, once you put some work in, you saw that,
Hmm.
wow, things start to get better and better. And
Got
that's
you.
one thing that I think really led me to working out and sticking to it, is because you could get that immediate feedback. You put work in, here's your return. And as that
Got you.
return starts to come, not only are you getting stronger and seeing those numbers, but your body start changing. And then back then it was all about the ladies, you know what I'm saying? So you got to do the
Yeah.
curls, girls, man.
Hey,
And
I
then,
understand that.
yeah, and then one thing led to another, went into the Air Force. And then when I was deployed overseas in the desert, it was one summer where it was like, man, that's all you had time to do was I would work like 12, 15-hour days, but it's like, bro,
Yeah.
just to relieve some stress, I'll just eat and lift, just like you was in prison or something.
Got you.
Yeah, I think I gained like 20, about 20 pounds that summer, man. Most like, man, you on them steroids? I'm like, nah, bro, you can't be on steroids in the desert. Ain't doing all
Yeah.
that. But then
Yeah.
it just took off, man, and I just started becoming more health conscious, and then one thing led to another. Like, wow, when I was in the Air Force, they came up with this. Well, we had the Navy, we had the Army.
Hmm.
All of us was getting fat. The Department of Defense as a whole, Marines, they don't really get too fat. And
Gotcha.
so at the time, I was one of the guys that really understood nutrition, biomechanics, physiology, all that stuff. That everything that goes into like getting someone in shape
Gotcha.
and keeping the weight off. So they approached me. It's like, hey, can you design a program for the entire base, which is like thousands of people, to get in shape because
Yeah.
we need some sort of protocols to establish or to create. That way, people can start losing weight and stay in the Air Force. So I was like, oh,
Gotcha.
cool, man. Because one thing about the Air Force, you have like these additional duties. So not only you like this is your job, but then outside of that, you have these additional duties that you have to do. So this was like an additional duty. However, it was such a big project that it I could do that more of this additional duty than my regular job. So I was like, hey man, if it pulls me away from my day-to-day stuff and it's something I
Yeah.
love, hey, sign me up. So
Gotcha.
started doing that, man. We put a program together. Long story short, people started losing weight, and I was just like, that's when just that passion, man, birthed out of me, and I was just like, bruh, this is who I want to be. This is who I
Yeah.
want to become. And
Yeah.
so then, after seeing transformations take place, I was coming up on my end of enlistment, which was 8 years, and I was like, you know what, man, I want to step outside, go back into the real world, and
Hmm.
open up my own gym and do this
Gotcha.
full time and just pursue my passion. And through
Gotcha.
faith, through hard work, through determination, man, I mean, the rest is history, man.
Okay, man. That's a lot of stuff, man. That's a lot of stuff, man. And it
Yeah, it's a
seemed
lot
like it
to
was
unpack with
good.
that, but I tried to give you that cliff note.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's what's up, man. Definitely. That's
Uh-huh.
what's up. So, man, what we'll do is you kind of already let the people know who you are, just a little intro of yourself. The next category that we're going to jump into is game time, man. So, hey, we about to kick the ball off, man. And basically in game time, man, what we're going to discuss is the three objectives within the chosen gem. And that's navigating success, relationships, and wellness. So starting with navigating success, man, my guy J. Cole says it the best. When it comes to success, I think that the world has created this thing to where it's about having the best car, the biggest home, materialistic woman, someone that's not even genetically, possible, and I think that people lose the sight of the true definition of success. So if you could define success, what would you say in your words success is?
Yeah, it's definitely some facts you stated in that. But and I think success, man, means something different to each person based on where they are in their life and then where they're going. And let me unpack that a little bit. Just as you stated, success to me as I was coming up, let's say
Mhm.
early 20s, it was all about, hey, man, you need to have the money, you need to have the you know what I'm saying, your gear, your ride, all of that stuff, because that's what I interpreted success was. Now going out in pursuit of those things, I realized personally that those monetary things, or I mean, I'm sorry, those physical things were more of a sort of temporary solution, meaning, okay, they just put a band aid on the thing that you need to be pursuing the most. So when I
Mhm.
went out doing, having money in my account, having, driving the car I wanted to drive, going to any store I wanted to and just pick up the kicks or whatever, like all of that stuff feels great. And that's cool. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to understand that what true success means to you at that time may not be the same definition of success on once you live life or once you get into another chapter of your life. Because see, now success to me is all about relationships,
Yeah.
because I mean now I'm a
Yeah.
father. So success to me is like having the freedom of time, meaning
Yeah.
time is the most valuable asset. So if I can create a lifestyle where, number one, I don't have to necessarily be or go into a 9 to 5. I can make my own hours. That's going to
Gotcha.
give me time for my relationship, meaning my daughter. She comes first. So if she has a function at school or after school, I can attend. If she gets sick and I need to go pick her up from school, I can go pick her up. I'm not sitting
Yeah.
there trying to debate with my boss, or
Yeah.
you even have to walk out the door or slam somebody because they ain't let me go to
Yeah.
pick up mermaid. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what success to me is now. And
Mm-hmm.
success is about taking that relationship and then creating something that or memories that's sustainable and something that can just sort of develop a bond over
Mm-hmm.
that lifetime of yourself and what you're going to be leaving behind, once
Gotcha.
God does call you home.
Oh yeah,
So don't get
definitely.
me wrong, it's great to want all those things, and I think there's a place for it. It's like a piece of the puzzle because like, let's just face it, like if you're gonna sit there and you say, hey man, I really want that Lambo, like, okay, hey, put that put that image in your mind, hey,
Mm-hmm.
frame the picture of a Lambo, whatever, and go and get those things. But
Gotcha.
I would encourage the person that's watching this, don't focus on the actual end goal or that item. Focus on the process, meaning focus on that person you're going to become in pursuit
Mm-hmm.
of that goal.
Oh,
That is going to be much more valuable than
oh
that
yeah,
end thing.
definitely. Definitely. I
Yep.
like that. I like that. That was some good knowledge there, man. That was definitely a gem right there. Hopefully you guys take that and run with it. All right. The next question I want to ask is, what would you say through your journey of navigating success has been the hardest time for you, and how did you overcome that? So the hardest time and how you overcame
Woo, boy, we ain't got this much time, bruh.
it.
Man. And because, bruh, it's like, whoa, man, because it's like, ah, here's the thing, whenever you're pursuing success, right? And again, that
Mhm.
that that can be whatever the definition that person has. Whenever I'm striving for, number one, being a better man, being a better business owner, being a better father, all of those categories require you to show up in the game and
Yeah.
execute the playbook. Now,
Mhm.
there's going to be days where you're going to have to call an audible.
Yeah.
So you may think, hey, all right, I just need to show up. I know they're going to be running this play. Hey, this is what the defense is looking like. All right, coach, we got this. Boom, let's get in there. Right before
Yeah.
you hike the ball, boom, they switch up, go to a different coverage. They zoom. You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to bring it
Yeah.
home. And
Yeah.
so then at that moment, you're like, whoa, okay, I've never seen this before. Dang. All right. But I know who I am as a person. I know who I am in God's eyes. So no matter what is presented to me, I have to believe in myself in order to move forward, regardless if
Gotcha.
I can't see the end play or what we're about
Yeah.
to get on
Yeah.
this down.
Yeah.
So it's
That's good.
always something in all those different areas, man, of life. But you always have to come back to that mindset and that mentality of, regardless of what the obstacles or things may be okay with calling an audible, man. Have
Yeah.
faith in yourself, and don't
Yeah.
lose sight on, like, why are you doing what you're doing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That
Yep.
makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Another gem, man. That's another gem drop there. Hey.
Yeah.
So next, moving on to the next topic, and that's relationships. So before I allow you, to express relationships, I like to, it's a reason why I had you as my first guest on. And a lot of people may not know that you're my uncle, man. And when it comes to relationships, man, I would say that, man, you were definitely one of the biggest inspiration in my life, man. Growing up, you know my circumstances. Growing up with in a single household with just me and my mom, man. You being in the military, the energy you brought back home, the time you spent, man, and it had nothing to do with money, but just allowing me, my cousins, my siblings, the opportunity to see what it looked like going to amusement parks, going to the movies and doing all of those different things, man, that there's other kids out there that don't get to experience those things. And I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity, man, because it opened my eyes, man, and it showed me what love looked like outside of, you know what I'm saying, my mom, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. So, man, I'm extremely grateful for you, man. And you just don't know how much, man, that you've influenced me and had an impact on my life. So I thank you for that, man.
Man, boy, don't be trying to make them cut no onions in here now. Hey, y'all get out the kitchen. Stop trying to cut no onions.
But yeah, man. So with that being said,
Yeah.
man, like I said, you were one of the biggest inspirations in my life, man. But who was somebody that you would say that was an inspiration in your life that kind of helped you stay on the right track or get to where you are today?
Oh man. I would say especially starting up, the one person, if I had to identify him, it would be Mr. Nelson.
Okay. Yeah.
And this guy, and just obviously your viewers are not going to know, but and I'll just do a quick little rundown. Growing up, I used to cut hair,
Hmm.
so I learned how to cut my own hair, and then started cutting up my friends, neighbors, whatever. And so my sisters at the time were working for this guy. His name was Mr. Nelson. So he ran a babysitter, a daycare, two daycares. He had a barbershop, he had a limo service. That was like the first time in my life I'd actually seen someone of color
Yeah.
like having a legit business, like,
Yeah.
versus selling drugs and making money that way, or a 9 to 5, which I'm not knocking 9 to 5s, but
Got
when
you.
you're exposed to something different like that, it's like, man, it's just, it really opens your eyes to the possibilities or things that
Yeah.
you're just not familiar with in that environment that you're growing up in. And
Yeah.
so when he gave me the opportunity to come cut in his barbershop, I think that was the first time where I actually had someone like see my ability as like potential and
Hmm.
believe in me as much as I believed in myself. And so
Got you.
that allowed me to go into this establishment and be successful. So
Hmm.
here I was, a man, what was I, like 14, 15 years old, and at the time you could cut hair under the apprenticeship, or you can be like the apprenticeship of a real barber, a barber who had their license.
Got
So
you.
that gave me the ability to go in, start fading them up, and through that experience, man, that not only taught me a lot about myself, but more importantly, like how to deal with people. Because you would
Hmm.
have, I mean, the neighborhood drug dealer come in, boom, hey man, I want my fade tight because ain't nothing fake on me, so I want me a true. I'm like, bro, sit down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you have a corporate executive to show up who just a executive like Wells Fargo or whatever big bank at the time.
Uh-huh.
And then you just have like normal cats. So you always had to kind of be on your P's and Q's, and was just that was the beauty about that I if I could look back on and appreciate, because that prepared me to go into the military and deal with the different people of generals you had to go talk to.
Yeah.
The next minute you had to talk to someone below you that was in that rank, and or you had to talk to your actual peers. So I would say Mr. Nelson was, yeah, hands down, man. He was that, and it was just about him trusting in me and my ability to say,
Yeah.
hey, this cat, he has a good head on his shoulder. He wants to do right. He's a good hard worker. Let me give him this opportunity. And man, the barbershop was very successful, and I had a intricate part of being, key to that.
Okay, awesome, man. That's what's up, man. That's definitely an impactful story, man. As far as seeing, I think that it's big, man, especially when it comes to the black race, man. A lot of the times we see success sometimes, but we want to know how to get there, and we don't have really the blueprint. So when you have people that are blessed to be in your life, you know, that you're blessed along the journey to have an encounter with, I think that's cool when they're kind of like showing you the way, you know. So hey, that's definitely a blessing, man. So the next topic that I wanted to hop into is wellness, and I mean that's cool that hey, you're a personal trainer. So when it comes to wellness, and when I say wellness, I mean physically, mentally, emotionally. What do you do, man, that keeps you sane, man, that keeps you on a straight and narrow path, man, because life, man, the twists and the turns, the obstacles, all the different things that may hit you in life, man, it's easy to be like, you know what? This ain't what I want, man. Or, we live in a world where there's so much wickedness, man, and so much going on. So what do you do to keep you sane, man? That keeps you at peace, you know what I'm saying? And on the right track.
Yeah, and when it comes to wellness, man, you have to, number one, you have to make it a non-negotiable, and that's what I do. So it's like if you create the habit, and
Mm-hmm.
then the habit creates the behavior.
Gotcha.
So if you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, man, I don't have time, I don't do. Oh, you have the time. It's where your focus is. So what you're giving time to something that's not serving you. So if you were to take inventory of where you're spending your time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you need to identify where you could be spending that time to help you get moving. And it's not about just doing some expansive program or spending hours in the gym. Bro, just start what I even coach when I'm coaching people. Just it's okay to start with a little bit. And then as you start with a little bit, think of the snowball effect. A little bit is going to turn into a lot. And before you
Gotcha.
know it, then you're going to create these behaviors and these habits. And that is going to become a lifestyle. Once it becomes a
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, then you just like, hey, one morning you'll get up. Oh, you know what? Let me go for a little quick jog or something before the family gets up, or let me get everybody fed. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna be outside for a minute. I'll be right back. Like you're gonna find those times where it's ideal to plug in that exercise because at the end of the day, my man, your your health does dictate your wealth, and the
Mm-hmm.
more you can focus on that, or not more than you can focus, but the more you make that a priority, the more it's going to cascade over to other areas of your life. So you can go out here and make all the money in the world, but if you're sitting in a hospital bed, well, how is that money going to serve you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to make it up in your mind, like you know what? All right, man. Just as long as I do something, and that's all you got to do, man. But for me, yeah, it's a
Gotcha.
non-negotiable. That's it. Like
Okay.
it's just in this. It goes back to like what is this? You got to set a standard for yourself. Because I know even if I let myself go, like it's a certain standard. When I look in the mirror, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, now see, come on, you got to reel it back in, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and real quick, if I can even just drop this, I look at things in like three different categories, man, which is very similar to what you're doing here, and that's health, wealth, and relationships. So, and I
Mm-hmm.
always look at them like if you were to look at them like as pillars, right? Pillars in your life, and also look at them from a 0 to 100, like an energy balance through them, or
Mm-hmm.
the attention, or where they are on that scale.
Gotcha.
Ideally, we would love to live in a perfect world, right? Like your wealth is 100, your relationships 100, and your health is
Yeah.
100. But let me tell you, after living on this earth for several decades, probably a little bit more than that, that some of those, it's okay for to let one of those pillars dip down a little bit. Now
Mm-hmm.
you have to decide which pillar are you going to allow to dip a little bit while you're working on the other pillar. This isn't just
Gotcha.
something to just rest
Balance.
back on
Yeah.
your laurels and say, okay, all right, let me let my relationships go down 100. Let me let no. And let me bring this home, give you a prime example. So, number one, I like obviously I'm a father, so that relationship pillar, I'm always trying to keep that at 100. So it's like, okay, what
Gotcha.
can I do each and every day to become father? Give me wisdom, give me the know-how. Please allow me to be the best father for my daughter. So
Mm-hmm.
whether that's put people in my path, put information in my path, I seek the wisdom to help me with that. So
Gotcha.
every day that's what I'm doing. Now that may dip a little bit where she's still young, so she may feel like daddy didn't give her that toy that she wanted. So
Yeah.
that's gonna create a little space and we're not at 100. That's okay. But over here on my health side, if I had to sacrifice my workout that day to go spend with my daughter, guess what? That dropped a little bit, but I increased over here. And then my
Yeah.
wealth, that's gonna be going up and down. Some seasons I'm gonna really put my head down. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves. I gotta get to work. But guess what? My health may go down. I may not be able to hit the gym as many times that week, but my relationship's going to be up. So you have this constant up and down motion, but
Gotcha.
at the end of the day, you have to say, okay, I'm not going to let either one of these bad boys drop below a certain number. So if that can
Gotcha.
help somebody that's listening to this, man, that will help you to stop being a perfectionist, number one. But number two, understand that guess what, man? Everything's not going to be at 100 every day in your life. But you
Yeah.
got to be okay with that and just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. So going into my last category, the game winner, you kind of already hit on a lot of that, man. But if it was one thing that you could leave with the people, man, just a gem to allow them to take with themselves as we exit this video, what would that be?
Oh man, yeah. If I could just pretty much just wrap up what I just talked about, just understanding. Well, yeah. Well, man, a couple things. Find out number one what you want in life, because if you're not understanding where you're going, you're going to be easily distracted and detoured to shiny objects and things that's going to draw and
Yeah.
pull your attention from you, your focus. So that's the first thing. Find out what you want, man. Where's your north star? Where are you
Yeah.
heading? Where's the compass? What's keeping you on
Yeah.
that path? And if you
Yeah.
need some reminders of that, place those things in your environment so that way, if you are getting off or veering off path, boom, you have that visual to say to correct you. Then number two
Yeah.
is just do the work, man. Do not let up. You gotta do the work.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta put the reps in. It's just like
Yeah.
the receiver going out. You can't expect to go out there and just catch and Randy Moss everybody somebody right off the bat. Guess what? You got to put them routes in. You got to put
Yeah.
that work in, right? So
Definitely.
number one,
Definitely.
get your focus. What are you going for? Like where are you headed, man? Where's the navigation system taking you? Because if not, you're gonna be hitting all them dirt roads and them back roads. You don't want to be on them back roads. You want to hit the highway and you want to get
Yeah.
you want to get there. All right. And then number two, put the reps in, man. And those two right there, find out where you're going, put the reps in, and don't stop, man. Consistency. That's it, bro.
Okay. Well, hey man, it's been real, and hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. And guys, I just want to share with you guys, it's a lot of stuff that you can take from this. So hey, either you can accept and reflect, or you can reject or neglect the knowledge and information given to you, because I think that it was a lot of information, and hopefully you guys can learn from this. Because I mean, the one goal is, man, for us to grow as a whole, and this is not just my journey, but your journey. So. Again, Unc, I appreciate you for coming on, man, and dropping that knowledge. And hey, until next time, man. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get it out there, man, because this is useful knowledge that everyone can benefit from. So with that being said, be blessed. Pieces.
Peace.